2 Kings 24. During Jehoiakim's rule, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia invaded and took control of Judah. Jehoiakim obeyed Nebuchadnezzar for 3 years, but then he rebelled. At the time, the Lord started sending troops to rob and destroy towns in Judah. Some of these troops were from Babylonia, and others were from Syria, Moab, and Ammon. The Lord had sent his servants, the prophets, to warn Judah about this, and now he was making it happen. The country of Judah was going to be wiped out because Manasseh had sinned and caused many innocent people to die. The Lord would not forgive this. Everything else Jehoiakim did while he was king is written in the history of the kings of Judah. Jehoiakim died, and his son Jehoiachin became king. King Nebuchadnezzar defeated King Necho of Egypt and took control of his land from the Egyptian George all the way north to the Euphrates River. So Necho never invaded Judah again. King Jehoiachin of Judah is taken to Babylon. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he became king of Judah, and he ruled only 3 months from Jerusalem. His mother, the Judah, was the daughter of Elnathan from Jerusalem. Jehoiachin disobeyed the Lord, just as his father Joachim had done. King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia sent troops to attack Jerusalem soon after Jehoiachin became king. During the attack, Nebuchadnezzar himself arrived at the city. Jehoiachin immediately surrendered, together with his mother and his servant, as well as his army officers and officers. Then Nebuchadnezzar had Jehoiachin arrested. These things took place in the 8th year of Nebuchadnezzar's rule in Babylonia. The Lord had warned that someday the treasures would be taken from the royal palace and from the temple, including the gold object that Solomon had made for the temple. And that's exactly what Nebuchadnezzar ordered his soldiers to do. He also led away as prisoners the Jerusalem officers, the military leaders, and the skilled workers, 10,000 in all. Only the very poorest people were left in Judah. Nebuchadnezzar took Jehoiachin to Babylon, along with his mother, his wives, his officers, and the most important leaders of Judah. He also led away 10,000 soldiers and 10 skilled workers, all of them trained for battle. Then Nebuchadnezzar appointed Jehoiachin's uncle Methaniah king of Judah and changed his name to Zedekiah. King Zedekiah of Judah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he was appointed king of Judah, and he ruled for Jerusalem for 11 years. His mother, Hamutal, was the daughter of Jeremiah from Rimnah. Zedekiah obeyed the Lord just as Jehoiakim had done. It was Zedekiah who finally rebelled against Nebuchadnezzar. The people of Judah and Jerusalem had made the Lord so angry that he turned his back on them. That's why these horrible things were happening. Jerusalem is captured and destroyed. In Zedekiah's 9th year old as king, on the 10th day of the 10th month, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia led his entire army to attack Jerusalem. The troops set up camp outside the city and built ramps up to the city walls. After a year and a half, all the food in Jerusalem was gone. Then on the 9th day of the 4th month, the Babylonian troops broke through the city wall. The same night, Zedekiah had his soldiers tried to escape through the gate near the royal garden. Even though they knew the enemy had the city surrounded, they headed toward the desert, but the Babylonian troops caught up with them near Jericho. They arrested Zedekiah, but his soldiers scattered in every direction. Zedekiah was taken to Riblah, where Nebuchadnezzar put him on trial and found him guilty. Zedekiah's sons were killed right in front of him. His eyes were then poked out, and he was put in chains and dragged off to Babylon. About a month later, in Nebuchadnezzar's 19th year as king, Nebuzaradan, who was his officer in charge of the guards, arrived in Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan burned down the Lord temple, the king's palace, and every important building in the city, as well as all the houses. Then he ordered the Babylonian soldiers to break down the walls around Jerusalem. He led away as prisoners the people left in the city, including those who had become loyal to Nebuchadnezzar. Only some of the poorest people were left behind to work the vineyard and the field. The Babylonian soldiers took the 2 bronze columns that stood in front of the temple, the 10 movable bronze stands, and the large bronze bowl called the sea. They broke them into pieces so they could take the bronze to Babylonia. They carried off the bronze things used for worship at the temple, including the pans for hot ashes, and the shovels, snuffers, and also the dishes for incense, as well as the fire pans and the sprinkling bowls. Nebuzaradan ordered his soldiers to take everything made of gold or silver. The pile of bronze from the columns, the stands, and the large bowl that Solomon had made for the temple were too large to be weighed. Each column had been 8 meters tall, with the bronze cap over 1 meter high. These caps were decorated with bronze designs, some of them like chains and others like pomegranates. Next, Nebuzaradan arrested Sariah, the chief priest, Jephaniah, his assistant, and 3 temple officials. Then he arrested one of the army commanders, the king's 5 personal advisors, and the officer in charge of gathering the troops for battle. He also found 60 more soldiers who were still in Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan led them all to Rimlah near Hamath, where Nebuchadnezzar had them killed. Most of the people of Judah had been carried away as captives from their own country. Gedaliah is made ruler of the people left in Judah. King Nebuchadnezzar appointed Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, to rule the few people still living in Judah. When the army officers and troops heard that Gedaliah was their ruler, the officers met with him at Mizpah. These men were Ismael, son of Netaniah, Johanna, son of Kareah, Seraiah, son of Tanhumeth from the Topa, and Jajaniah from Makkah. Gedaliah said to them, "Everything will be fine, I promise. We don't need to be afraid of the Babylonian rulers. If we live here peacefully and do what Nebuchadnezzar says." Ismael was from the royal family, and about 2 months after Gedaliah began his rule, Ishmael and 10 other men went to Mizpah. They killed Gedaliah and his officers, including those from Judah and those from Babylonia. After that, the army officers and all the people in Mizpah, whether important or not, were afraid of what the Babylonians might do. So they left Judah and went to Egypt. Jehoiachin is set free. Jehoiachin was a prisoner in Babylon for 37 years. Then evil Merodach became king of Babylonia, and in the first year of his rule, on the 27th day of the 12th month, He left Jehoiachin out of prison. Evil Merodach was kind to Jehoiakim and honored him more than any of the other kings held prisoner there. Jehoiachin was even allowed to wear regular clothes, and he ate at the king's table every day. As long as Jehoiachin lived, he was paid a daily allowance to buy whatever he needed.